The Mad Bull put his team on the scoreboard. He took out Ryung, preventing the all-kill, preventing the third kill. And now it's time for PvP with Alicia.
Yeah, PvP Alicia is going in. He wants to get that win. And that's going to be pretty cool. I didn't really expect to see a PvP here. Much more estimated that we would see Scarlet play, for example.
Yeah. And he picked Icarus, which is so interesting for Protoss versus Protoss.
Look at that. That is really interesting.
And this map is so important because this map kind of puts the momentum one way or the other. Because if suddenly Mad Bull kills 2 of your players, then, you know, he ties the score and gives NS HoSeo a little bit more momentum. But if Mad Bull loses here, then Axiom-Acer, of course, regains that momentum in an even more further way because they only need 1 more kill after that, and they're expecting probably Jockji to come out as the final player.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's a doubt that we are going to see Jockji as the final player. No, it's just not going to happen.
No doubts in my mind.
You cannot put out Tassadar and not put out Jockji. That's like, no. That just doesn't work. Alicia right now, let's see what he can do, because he doesn't have the best result in this matchup, at least offline. He hasn't won a single map. Lost. I actually won one map against Hero in American WCS America. In the grand finals, he lost to SOS.
Yeah, not a whole lot of PvP outside of Pro League these days on professional StarCraft 2.
Yeah, it's actually true. Like, Pro League has by far the most PvPs.
We just don't see too many Protoss players doing well in individual leagues. Also, it's just kind of chancy. You don't really see it. Protoss players, though, making up the smallest amount. Well, we are going into this. Icarus is the map, an interesting map choice. Very easy expansion to take, but PvP very different from all different matchups.
Yeah, going into the game here, can Mad Bull get another win for his team? Or will the match against Ryung be the only one that he is going to take today? This is the GSTL 2013 Axiom-Acer up against NS HoSeo. Brought to you by Colin Wolf. Starting to the top left, we have the second player for Team Axiom-Acer. It is
Axiom-Acer.
Alicia, very good overseas.
Yeah, definitely true. Up against the player at the bottom right. Starting for his team, it is
NS HoSeo Mad Bull.
He's already in the game number 1.
Spawning as red again.
Yeah, with a red headset.
Red headset, red. You know, the old NS HoSeo jackets were red.
Yep, white and red. Jockji still wears those occasionally.
Yeah, the only reason they don't wear them now is because it's too hot for that. Very hot in Seoul right now.
Already scouting here for a few proxies as well. This is a map where you will find yourself more often than not in a very just faced with a very unique strategy where a player designs one strategy that he can execute on this build to take you out early on in the game.
Yeah, very much safer gateway positioning by Mad Bull in the front of the ramp, because with that positioning he probably would scout, you know, the pylon even, that a probe was coming in. And Alicia, on the other hand, is checking very aggressively within his own main base and the back door. So 2 ways to look at the same coin, essentially. Well, we'll see here. So far, 1 gas only taken from Mad Bull, which indicates he probably wants to do a fast expand.
I haven't seen too many games of Mad Bull against Protoss yet. He defeated in FXO Protoss, he defeated Echo in the qualifier with a 2-0. He lost to MC in the preseason, but those are the only games that we have seen out of the Protoss player from NS HoSeo in Heart of the Swarm yet. So, not a lot to go on here. But if his Protoss versus Terran is any indication, then he should be quite solid.
Yeah. Well, both players going into double gates. A little bit different opening here from Mad Bull since he's gassed a little later. If you look at the resources at the top right, you can see he's about 12 gas behind his opponent in total gas mined, so not a massive deal here. And now he's starting to catch up as he's 3-3 versus 2-2. So just different openings here, and you can see how both openings are actually good. They're just good for different reasons, and it doesn't really put you behind. Continued to scout here. He will actually finally be repelled by the Stalker, but he wants to see if a Twilight Council or a Stargate is added. Sticks around as long as possible. Ooh, proxy, most likely for Oracles here.
Yeah. Guess they're going to get scouted right away.
Well, so far Mad Bull thinks so. He goes for check for it. Does he go all the way?
I think he will. It looks like it.
Wow.
Yep, he sees. Matt was like, hey there, how you doing?
The thing about this map is it's just that it's a map where you expect something like this.
Alicia does actually not cancel.
No cancel there.
Yeah. Stalker moves now down. Tries to snipe maybe that Mothership core here. That's most likely not going to happen. But that pylon will die. The thing is though that there's another pylon to the left side of the map that Alicia built after the first one. And the Stargate for Mad Bull is also being built, by the way, in the main base here, unscouted so far.
Yeah. Goes for the Stargate. And Alicia does not hide anything at the pylon. He just uses it for scouting. Looks like he may have had a plan with the first pylon, but once that one got scouted, he didn't want to take the risk. And now remakes it. So he just wants to be able to do run-bys, it looks like. And no Nexus for either player just yet. Playing is very safe.
Stargate is nearly done. Do we see the Void Ray now?
He goes Oracle.
With the Oracle you can of course harass. The Void Ray with the overcharge is so good against Stalkers that he can help you really to defend against units like this. So let's see how he's going to play this.
Alicia has the forward pylon to warp in units to be aggressive, but they're both, you know, similar counts of units here. Obviously, Alicia having the third gateway really helping him out quite a bit here in production.
Yeah.
Warp goes down, he needs to pull that Mothership core back.
There comes the second time warp, and there are just way too many units. And what is the Oracle going to do? You know, with the Void Ray you can at least try, but that game is...
It looks over, man.
Yeah, he loses too much. He loses the Mothership core, he lost all the Stalkers. Those Zealots are trying to take at least a few of the Stalkers of Alicia down. Oracle flying across the map, trying to get those kills in the main base. I just don't see it happen. I mean, he's going to get those kills, but can he defend his own main?
I mean, he's already losing his own probes, you know, and I just don't see this happening here. He gets a few, cancels the Robo there, so he can have those resources, warps in 2 Stalkers, that's all he's going to need.
Exactly. The probes are dying, yes they are, but there are too many dead at the bottom right for Mad Bull 2, and he's already down to 17 supply against 30. It looks like the reign of the Mad Bull is over.
GG. And this puts Axiom-Acer in back in that that momentous place. I'm trying to create an adjective. They have the momentum now. It's in their hands, and they know now. Okay, Joxi's coming. Not only does Alicia have a chance of killing Joxi, but we've got a sniper plan for him if Alicia should fall.
The thing is that you have to take it one step at a time, and NS HoSeo is already aware that they can't be all killed anymore.
Yeah. And you know, if you do a build like this and you only make 2 gateways, you are asking for trouble if you don't make the Void Ray, because the Void Ray would have helped him defend. An Oracle is not going to cut it there. And you know, if Alicia doesn't attack, the Oracle is a good opening, but it's risky the build he chose, and Alicia just did 3 gateway pressure.
Yep, the 3 gateway pressure, he just outproduced his opponent on the ground, took him down, killed all those units, the time warps were good, the Stalker is gone, then the Mothership core is being sniped.
And don't forget, this is a wide ramp map, so if you do this on a map where you're on one base, like Akalon for example, you can just force seal the ramp and keep Alicia out of your base and just chill out until you get the Void Ray out, until you have enough units to defend. But in this case, on this map, it was a good choice by Alicia. He knows there's a wide ramp. 1 force is not going to cut it, you need 2. Are you going to have those sentries and an Oracle? You can't afford that.
And now it's of course time for Joxi to step in the booth.
Yeah.
I mean, who's
if
going
they
to play
use
next?
Kaisar, it would be interesting. It would be interesting to say the least. They do have a Protoss player out now to face. So,
you know,
Belcher Vestige is the map.
To be quite frank, I would not even blame them to play Kaisar. It's not like anything is on the line here for them. This is a game for pride. This is a match that they can lose. Even if they win it here, what are they going to gain? Nothing.
All they gain is that they know that Axiom-Acer can't keep the 2nd place spot anymore.
I think the only thing that currently happens here is the coach turning around and is like, okay, Joxi, you're supposed to play, and Joxi's probably just asking Kaisar, do you want to play? Do you want to get that extra exposure here right now, or should I going to take it? Because Joxi, he's going to play in the individual league. He has the exposure, and I expect Joxi. I would like to see Kaisar, because that just would show me personally that the coach accepted what we already accepted like 3 match days ago, and is now finally putting those players out to give them the exposure.
Let's see. Joxi gets up.
Yep.
It's going to be him.
I mean, you want to show your best player. It's also you want to show how your team performs. I just would have liked to see Kaisar today. But for me, the decision would, if I was the coach, I would have not played Tassadar, I would have played Kai'Sa instead. Mad Bull first against Ryang, Mad Bull would have won, and then now I could send out a Zerg play against the Protoss.
Yeah, that's you know, in an alternate universe, what would have happened.
I think that's actually the choice that most people would have made.
Exactly.
Also going through the threads and the feedback that we of course read during the breaks.
Tassadar, he was chosen, he fell out. Jockji is now the final player here, and I could see Jockji pulling this one into the ace match. It could happen.
You know, the funniest thing that I actually read earlier when we were on our break was the Team Liquid was talking a little bit about the Azubu video that was played in the break and Azubu in general. And then they were talking about what you have to do to save esports, and one guy writes, Dodgen I think it was, all you have to do buy Azubu Plus is buy TL Plus and change your team flag to Azubu. And then one guy from Germany says like, okay, someone please buy me Team Liquid Plus so I can save esports. And it actually worked. Like 5 minutes later, he suddenly has TL Plus, and I'm like, what? Wait a second. If I do that, will it work too? It was so funny. I saw that and I had to stop myself from laughing like so hard. It was like, that really worked? Oh my god.
This is pretty funny. Tassadar looking like he's got. He actually almost looked like a serial killer in that pose, but he looks happy despite the fact that he lost. That's usually how the Azubu coach looks most of the time. Well, right now, Tassadar is out. We have Mad Bull out as well, and of course our starting player Sanai fell very handedly. So it's all down to Jockji here. And they've used Jockji second, third, and fourth kind of sporadically this season. They've used Tassadar fourth this season as well. He hasn't come through for them, not even once. Jockji gets to make his last stand here for not only himself and his own pride, but for his entire team. If he wins today, he in a sense makes history because he's beating the team who is second place in the league, not the team that's only one place above them, like when they beat Prime, for example. But for him to win today leaves at least something behind for this team that has almost nothing. I mean, he is the only one on the team who has anything, and he has to do something for his team here.
I actually talked to him after his performance at the WCS qualifier and asked him also about NS HoSeo just in general, and asked him a few questions if he would ever consider leaving the team, because quite a few have mentioned that they think Jockji is being held back by NS HoSeo. What he thinks about it, also how pressured he is being the player who's usually the backbone. And he just said that he feels a lot of pressure, but he thinks that with the new players that they have now, Sanai and Red Bull, they are players that can get to a level where they will take the pressure off him, because after Freaky and of course Seal left the team and not currently in the roster anymore, he was like the only hard hitter for them. So he is pretty honest about all these things, and I feel that even if he loses today, for them it's more about the next season right now. They have at least one player in the individual league, and they have players that show potential, and if they keep practicing, they can certainly develop as a team.
Yeah, absolutely so. And Jockji, he could definitely bring it to the ace match here.
Keep in mind one thing. People are talking about the team, all the all-kills that we had this season, but it's also because we changed the format so drastically. In the old system, teams that don't do well are usually eliminated right at the beginning, so we don't have this many all-kills. But now we have this round-robin system, so of course teams that are very, very weak will get all-killed over and over again. We just had this divide in the ranks, and that's something that you could see. And I feel with a little bit of fresh blood, for example, for Prime, but now also for NS HoSeo, that could change in the future.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first time I've ever had anything like this. Even when we had F United in the GSTL, when we had the similar round-robin system, they were closer in skill level to some of the other teams, so they didn't get all killed as often. When we had NS HoSeo in previous seasons, they just got knocked out early. Like when Team Liquid got knocked out earlier, probably would have seen more all kills in those times if we had this same format, so we just didn't get to see that. And, you know, somebody's got to lose. Somebody's got to lose.
It's just the way that they lost this season. And Jockji was talking about, it was like the first time they got all killed, it was okay. The second time they got all killed, as he said, they were fine with that. They were just looking at the games and were like, okay, well, it happens. Yeah. But then it happened again and again and again, and at some point it was just the whole confidence of the team that was down the drain, and they never really recovered from this. So that was his biggest problem. Now with him qualifying for the individual league, he said like he has the spirit to go into the team league and perform at his best. He of course knows that going up against a strong team like Axiom-Acer, his chances of really like killing them right now and taking them out are very slim. But he has a lot less pressure now. There's nothing on the line anymore but pride. They cannot advance. There's no playoff spot for them on the line. He's already in the individual league, so it's all about the next season, and that's why he will not feel the pressure that he felt during the rest of the season.
Exactly. So they already got, I mean, Mad Bull put them on the scoreboard, so it's not up to just him to prevent the all kill. He's already done that, and just one more point would be great for the team. The only thing that really makes a difference in the whole scheme of the whole rankings is if they win. It doesn't make a difference for them, but it makes a difference for Axiom-Acer.
The indicator is not important for Axiom-Acer. For Axiom-Acer, the only thing that really counts is the win in the match. So as long as NS HoSeo doesn't suddenly turn things around and Jagchi goes on to take down Alicia and the rest of the team, it's not going to matter, because they will be with 6 wins and 1 losses, and they have to hope for Team MVP to lose anyways. So
very true. So right now, Alicia on 1 win, but in a completely different matchup, and he's going up against the strongest player on NS HoSeo's roster, on Belcher Vestige, so not his map pick either. I would give Jagchi a slight edge here, just a slight one, but anything can happen.
You know, there are not too many players on the bench today for Axiom-Acer. They have, after Alicia, they have left Scarlet, she's apparently a little bit sick, so she doesn't feel, she's not in the best condition right now. They have MMA, and they have Crank, and that's it. So that's a very small lineup that they have there, so they have to be careful. Alicia is a strong opponent for Jagchi, but Jagchi is a former champion. Going into the game now in Belcher Vestige, it's Jagchi versus Alicia, NS HoSeo versus Axiom-Acer. Brought to you by Color.